All right, we are going live here in just a second. So let's kick this thing off. All right, good morning and welcome everybody to the Health Transformation webinar. This is Kate Archibald speaking, and with us today, as usual, we got the founder, the creator, and just an amazing all-around guy, Reagan Archibald here. Reagan, how you doing?
Really awesome. I've got my smoothie in my hand, and I'm really stoked for today's webinar.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to learn a little bit more about your amazing superfood smoothie. I've had a couple, and they always have a little bit variation of taste, which is, I like that. The first one I had was a little heavy on the ginger side, which I love ginger, so that was okay. But the beautiful thing about this is you can just kind of make it your own, right?
You can make it your own, and you can add or subtract, but I'm going to give everyone kind of a foundational structure that I've used because I did an Instagram video on this last week. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. And I just have had so many questions. All my patients are like, what is in that? Can you write down your ingredients? And so I figured I'll just do a webinar on it so that everybody can have access to it. And then we'll make another YouTube video out of it. So yeah. So we'll dive right in. And some of you are probably doing smoothies, and some of you are like, man, I need to break up my morning routine. So today this is more about like creating some healthy habits and digging into things that are going to be hopefully really good for you. So we got people on both ends here on the webinar world. We've got our, is this Instagram or Facebook? Our Instagram crowd. We love you guys. So thanks so much for being on this. So let's jump in. So Superfood Smoothie. One of the most difficult things when you're trying to get your body healthier and more fit and robust is just creating easy and simple health patterns that get all the vital nutrients in your body that actually help you propel forward in health. I can't believe how many people I talk to, and they only take herbs, they only take supplements when they're sick. And this is even healthcare providers. Now, Kate, how often do you take some cool supplements or herbs? How often are you trying to optimize your health?
A couple times a day.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so it makes no sense. So for those of you who are providers watching this, I want to give you the challenge. I got some ginger on my lip from that drink. I want to give you the challenge to start thinking about optimizing health. So that's what the smoothie is all about. It's meant to simplify your life, but also to optimize your health. So let's dive in. So first of all, if you don't have a copy of my book, Your Health Transformation, just send us a chat in the chat box and we will send you a digital copy. The newest book that we've got coming out is called Brain Rejuvenation. And I'm really excited about this book. It's going to be a game changer in the way that we look at how to improve and enhance brain and cognitive performance. There's a lot on stem cell therapy. So give us a chat and we'll get this book sent to you as well. And then first of all, I want you, as we start this webinar, think about all the healthy habits you've got right now. So maybe just think of 3 healthy habits. Maybe one of those is you fall asleep, you go to bed, you're in bed by 9:30 every night. Or maybe you have a healthy habit of you eat vegetables every day. Or maybe there's another healthy habit where you say nice things to your spouse and partner and your kids. And then think about some unhealthy habits, like maybe you watch the news every day, or you spend too much time on Facebook, or you don't exercise, whatever those unhealthy habits are. Think of 3 of those and then create some 90-day goals. And I would encourage you, as you're looking at your habits, to say, well, could I eat a little healthier? Could I have a little bit healthier of habits? And really think about who can hold you accountable in this process. Because if you don't have an accountability partner when it comes to your health, you're not going to make it very far on your own. So make sure you got that accountability partner. And I know my wife and I, we made the commitment before we ever got married. we said, look, every day of our life, we will be as healthy as we possibly can. We're going to make healthy choices. And it's a deal breaker if either one of us, break from that commitment. So I've got to keep myself pretty darn trim and fit. And she does too. And it's not, it's not just, this vanity thing. It's actually, we want to live a really long, healthy life together. So find an accountability partner in this process. Last March, actually this March, 2018. Sorry, it looks like I don't know what I'm chewing on. I think I'm chewing on a mango right there, some dried mango. But my kids and I took them to the Nepali coast.
That's just a beautiful piece to chew, isn't it? Copenhagen.
It is. It's a healthy habit. It's tobacco. Thanks, Cade. Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to.
You had to. Well, the Nepali coast. Cade, you haven't been to Kauai yet, have you?
I have not. No.
Oh, all right. We got to go there. But anyway, I love all the Hawaiian Islands. As you guys know, it's just like amazing. Cade and I were in Oahu together in July. And this image was taken in March. But you can see my kids aren't super pumped in this picture because they just finished, like we're at the top of about it's about a 6-mile hike to this amazing waterfall. It's on the Nepali coast, and my kids, the good news is they could totally make it up there. And I kept telling the kids, if they complain, we're just going to keep going farther. And so we ended up hiking quite a while. And at the end of this hike, my kids were so excited because they were able to, we actually went and swam under that waterfall, and just an incredible experience. We got refreshed. It was a really hot, muggy day, lots of mosquitoes on this upper trail. But when we got there, it was just phenomenal. And so today you're going to learn some things that might be kind of hard. You're going to look at some of the stuff that I put in this smoothie, and some of you can see that in the Instagram world. But you're going to see like, wow, that looks really hard, Reagan. Am I going to have to choke that down? But it's really not bad. All my kids, they'll drink my smoothies. Dominic's the hardest. Zoe and Jonah, they'll drink it. They're fine. But I'm going to ask you guys to think about like the end result of feeling good. When you create a healthy habit, think about how positive you feel afterwards. And I think that's what, the main message of today is. I'm going to share with you some of my habits and give you a little glimpse into my personal life, but I'm going to encourage you to do the same. But don't worry if it looks too hard. Don't just jump off this in 5 minutes just because it looks too hard. So here's where you start. Step 1, get a blender, ideally a Vitamix. I don't know. Cade, what do you use? Do you have a Vitamix, or are there other good blenders out there?
I also use a Vitamix. Blendtechs are really nice.
Mm-hmm.
They are a little bit of an investment, but oh man, it's night and day different especially if you're trying to grind up a whole avocado with the seed. I think those are like the only 2 blenders that'll actually handle that. Yeah,
I think Blendtech, one of my patients actually was one of the early founders of that company, dude from Provo, great guy, but he says it can blend up a broom, like just shred it. Yeah.
Don't put your hand in there, everybody.
Yeah. So I hope he doesn't watch this webinar, because I just remembered like, oh yeah, I probably should get a Blendtech. But anyway, that'll be my next blender. So get ice. You can see there's a little bit of ice in it. That gives it some texture. It cools it down, because smoothies are not best drinking warm. Trust me, I've drinking plenty that are warm. I've left them in the trunk of my car on many occasions. So next step, pick out your greens. So these are some microgreens, some pea shoots. So there's naturally occurring enzymes. So there are certain vegetables you can eat raw. There, get some baby lettuce. This is some organic baby lettuce, and you're putting some big handfuls in. You'll see in just a minute. Because remember, we want you eating about 1 to 2 pounds of vegetables every day. And one of the areas where people go wrong when they try to get into ketosis is they don't get the vegetables in because they're worried about the carbohydrates. But in doing so, they jam up their liver, and then the liver is not able to actually produce the ketones to keep you in ketosis. So really important to get lots of vegetables in. I like just like the buttery lettuce. It's much more tasty. And then I put a lot of ginger in there. And so usually I'll just take a chunk of ginger. Ginger is a rhizome, and then I'll break that off and put it in the blender. So some of the benefits of ginger, first of all, it gives it a nice tangy flavor. Some of the hard things are it's going to be pretty fibrous. No matter how good your blender is, you'll have little fibers that can stick in your mouth and teeth. And so don't worry about that. Just swallow it down. But ginger's got anti-inflammatory benefits. It's one of the best things you can do to help with gastric secretion. So do not make a smoothie without ginger. That's my one caveat. So Chinese medicine, we look at the stomach like it's an oven. And if the oven can't cook the food and you're just dumping these smoothies down your throat every day, but you don't have some type of balancing and enzymatic process to assist your body in digestion, then it's going to sit there and pretty soon you're going to end up with like small intestine bacterial overgrowth or some type of pathogenic influence. So put the ginger in every single time. It's going to be critical for you. And it makes it taste a little better too. But if I had one herb that, the rest of my life I could only take one herb, it'd probably be ginger. And you like ginger, don't you, Cade?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's tasty. So yeah, put some ginger in there. This, I like to put in a little bit of kale. So this is some dinosaur kale, as you can see there. The caveat, if you're going to eat raw kale or any raw cruciferous vegetables, the problem is they have a lot of, not only do they have phytic acid and oxalates, which can be damaging to your kidneys. So you can develop some crystallization in your joints. The other thing they have are goitrogens, so it can affect your thyroid. So I had a patient once who was like, Reagan, you told me a pound of vegetables a day. And so I just put all my chard. I love chard. So I just put chard in my smoothie blender. She was putting some lemon and ginger in it, but she didn't do radish. So the key is do a radish. And what she ended up with is goiters on her thyroid. So I started investigating. I said, well, what are you doing? What's changed? What stayed the same? And I found out that the things that have changed are the fact that she was doing way too much of this cruciferous blend. And so I said, all right, well, all you got to do is you've got to add radish. And so radishes help neutralize all the phytic acids, the oxalates, and especially the goitrogens, so that you can eat some raw kale and put that in your smoothie. So it's great. The ideal way is eating a bunch of it that's not raw, that's cooked. And then an avocado. And like Cade said, you want to have an avocado with the seed in it. And so it's really nice. You just take that whole thing out, you scoop it in your blender, and I like to put 1 or 2 eggs. So yes, I do raw eggs. So if you have any concerns of developing like salmonella, if that egg is not, free range, or it's not grass fed, but it's non-caged chickens. What are they called, Kate? The eggs, they're organic,
free range.
Is it free range chickens or
free?
Cage free. Yes, cage free chickens. Let them run around. You don't want eggs that are not going to be nutrient dense. And for those of you who have chickens, yeah, dude, get your own chickens or a duck egg. Man, duck eggs are so good though. I wouldn't put it in a smoothie. I'd cook it. And if you have enough time, just cook your egg. It's easier to digest. But Cade, do you remember the calories of an egg? Or
I do not.
You mind looking that up real quick if you don't mind? Because so far, if you look at calories, a lot of people, like my wife, was like, that's got to be like 2,000 calories. It's actually not that much. If you look at all the lettuce, okay, we're at like 30 calories. You look at the ginger, there's another, so we're at 50 calories. 60. An avocado is going to be about, let's see, it's got 21.
78 for
an egg. Yeah, so we're like at 125. Plus an avocado is going to be about another 200. So we're at about, 375 with the egg. And then you're putting that all in the blender. Now, one thing I have not shown you yet is that white stuff is actually my cashew yogurt. But you can see, that blender is getting pretty darn full. Another book, for those of you who are looking for a new breakthrough in life, Stem Cell Breakthrough. So here's this, and then I put in the collagen gelatin protein. And so what this does is if you've had stem cells, that's why I put the book there. I was like, that's a weird place for that. But the collagen gelatin protein is great if you're working on your connective tissue. So if you've been treated by us, I know several of you on the webinar today have been, make sure you're getting this collagen. The collagen substrates will help the stem cells repair and regenerate that connective tissue in your body. So I'll put a tablespoon of this, at least 1 scoop, usually 2 scoops of the collagen. This comes from the joints of pasture-raised cows. So that's the ideal place to get it. It can also come from the hides of cows, and it's really good for the connective tissue. And then I use organic acai powder. And once again, the acai powder is an excellent source of manganese. And manganese is one of the main minerals that you need to rebuild the muscles and connective tissue. So if you've got the collagen substrates, now you've got the manganese, you're going to be doing really well. And this acai powder, it's got antioxidants in it. Very good for your liver, very good for your heart. It's a little bitter, so just be aware of that. But that's what gives the smoothie kind of a purple color. So, all right, then you get your maca powder. So we like the gelatinized because it's easier to digest. It's slightly fermented, and then you can use it for balancing your hormones. So it's great for energy, great for just overall vitality. But the best thing about using maca powder is it keeps your hormones really balanced. So put a scoop of that in there. I'll put a little bit of almond milk, some unsweetened almond milk, just to keep the consistency where it needs to be. A scoop of cashew butter. Cashew butter is awesome because the cashew is one of the nuts that has the least amount of mycotoxins in it. So it's not going to be harboring a lot of the fungus that some other nuts do.
Awesome. What about almond butter, Reagan?
Yeah, you can use almond butter too. You don't want to do too much almond butter or eating almonds if you've had thyroid issues. And so, I've had thyroid issues in the past. And so I tend to lean more towards cashew, and cashew butter just is got a little sweeter taste to it. So I like it a little more.
Cool.
Yeah. And then one of the favorites, do not miss this one, or your smoothie is going to taste a little rough. But one of the best things you can add in is the organic coconut cream. So I like this 5.4 ounce container. We just have them stockpiled in our pantry. And I just open it up and I dump the whole thing in there. And it creates good consistency, but really good flavor. And then you get all the healthy nutrients and fats from the coconut cream. And this thing alone is about 200 calories. So, and then if we look at the cashew butter, 1 tablespoon is going to be about 90 calories. So you're looking right now with these, no calories there. So right now you're looking at right around 600 calories. I put in the brain octane. That's much easier to digest than just the straight up coconut. So if you have brain octane, if you don't, you can get it at Whole Foods. You can order it from Bulletproof. But brain octane, put a tablespoon of that in there, and you'll see I put coffee in it. Where is my coffee? It's right there. We'll get to that in a second. I put some cacao powder, so 100% raw cacao. And what that does is it gives it a nice little flavor. And then cacao, some of the polyphenols in chocolate are actually really beneficial for overall antioxidants and detoxification. They can also, these polyphenols can be very good for recovery. So put a little cacao in there. I already mentioned my cashew gurt. I use a Forager. They're a great, they're easy on the environment.
That you should try to say that 10 times over.
Cashew gurt. Forager.
That was great.
You're welcome. But yeah, this is not fun to eat alone. The cashew gurt, if it's plain, it's not awesome. The other yogurt you can use is goat yogurt. We're not big fans of the cow yogurt because some of the casein in there can trigger some inflammation. for some of us. But the goat yogurt, it's a different protein makeup. So goat yogurt is great. I think the one I made you this last weekend, Cade, was from goat yogurt. Could you taste goat?
Nice. It tastes a little goaty.
Little goaty, yep. And that's what I used. And then I like to put some cold brew in there. Maybe I'll do about a half of a cup. I just, with my time restricted eating, I'm not doing coffee until about 9:30 or 10 when I take my first meal. And so what I found is putting some cold brew in there, because a lot of times I'll forget to do coffee, and coffee's not only is it great for the dopamine and neurotransmitters in your brain, but coffee is actually really good for some of the bacteria in your gut as well. And I like the mental clarity that some of the caffeine in the coffee gives me, and especially if I'm adding in the brain octane, the coconut. It's very medicinal. There's no sugar in this, but I do like the cold brew. And then the luxurious and amazing camel milk. So camel milk, Cade, what was your experience when you drank camel milk a couple weeks ago?
It was life-changing. No. We were at a Mindshare conference for healthcare providers, and they had bulletproof coffee booths, and so you could get bulletproof coffee, and it was just a little harsh. And the camel milk, I really liked how it just like smoothed it out. It was a nice I used it as a creamer, but it's like it had a really good flavor.
Yeah, and it's a massive source of great proteins and calcium, great healthy saturated fats. And then if you look at the zinc profile in this, a ton of zinc is in camel milk. And so these camels, unfortunately, are not in the Middle East. I was a little bummed out. There's a camel farm in Missouri. So go figure. There's camels, but man, those camels are healthy, robust, pretty amazing little critters. So you can get that from Desert Farms. You can see there at camel milk. Man, it is tasty stuff. And does Desert Farms, I guess they will ship it to you in containers. It's not cheap, but very tasty. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to look for a website that you guys can get it off of.
Perfect.
How did you order yours? Did you just place your order at it's desertfarms.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so pretty simple.
Awesome. Yeah, I just got it at the event, actually, for free. You missed out on that, kid.
What?
Yeah.
I got to pay more attention next time.
Oh, no. I just, gave so many compliments that she couldn't help but give me a free bag of that stuff. Otherwise, it would cost $8,000. So the next thing, beet juice powder. The beet juice powder is huge because it's got the nitric oxide. Now this, I'm going to give you guys just a little, I hope we have adults only on this. But if you got kids, just close their ears real quick. But if you want to make love at night, getting more nitric oxide is great. So just take a little beet juice powder and you'll feel like a champion, women and men. So it helps improve blood circulation and blood flow. So I put a scoop of the beet juice powder in there, and then I try and take it at night when I know I'm going to be trying to be on my swagger, swagger of a cripple.
That's why you're acting so weird. All right, I got it.
And then finally, we're getting into the mushrooms. So cordyceps is one of my favorite mushrooms, and reishi. Cordyceps, I mean, we could get into what it technically is, but it falls into the mycelium category. And so we use the organic mushroom nutrition. And then I use lion's mane. And lion's mane, as many of you know, is my favorite nootropic. So I put a big scoop of both of those mushroom powders in there. And put it in you can see the blender is getting pretty chock full of nutrients. I add some Redmond real salt. I put maybe a teaspoon or two of Redmond salt. It's got a big old nozzle, so sometimes I end up with a really salty treat. But then you just blend it away, and you're off to the races. and then I put it in my containers. So I make enough to fit in about 2 containers. And this pretty much every day is my breakfast/lunch. And then all the decision making's gone for the day. So it's, if I want to go out to lunch, it's like, great, I'm not very hungry, so I'll just get a salad, get some vegetables. But I try to leave the majority of my animal proteins for the evening, where it's easier to digest. Your digestive system's a little more robust that time. So when you're planning out your nutrition, you look at it and you say, okay, when are you going to eat this? What are going to be your foods? What are the worst foods you're eating right now, and how's your energy results been? But really looking to the future, try this shake out. I guarantee it's going to help increase your energy. Even if it's 10% of an improvement, that's still phenomenal. So my strategy for breakfast and lunch is make as few choices as I have to. And so I say, well, great, I'm going to do my smoothie. That's going to be my breakfast and my lunch. And then dinner, whatever dinner is, then I've known that I've covered all my nutritional bases. And so if I want to have some cool Italian pasta at night, I'm not going to feel bad. If I'm going to eat some sourdough bread, I'm not going to feel bad. And it doesn't slow me down in my health. But if I want to drink a glass of wine, yes, I'll do that. And so these are all things that you can do to get yourself closer to health independence, because at the end of the day, that's what we're really trying to create here at East West Health. And with all of you who are participating in this, is just giving you back your health independence. And it starts by creating these good habits so you can get healthier and fit. So
yes,
you remember that.
Yes, that
congratulations. You are now a big baby. So sorry about the imagery there, everybody. I really apologize. This was my 40th surprise birthday party. But,
yeah, I got him a onesie for his birthday.
Really nice of Cade to do that for me. I thought Cade would love this picture, so this is for you. But yeah,
that is awesome.
Feel free. I can't wait for my 50th birthday, and then I'm going to have even better onesies. So, all right, guys, that's your smoothie, your superfood smoothie. And then, Cade, I guess you're going to make the YouTube video out of this so we can get it to people.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube right now, and so yeah, you're going to see that on YouTube. I'll also put some links in the notes. So if you guys want to go in and check out the camel milk or some of those other products, you have those links right at your fingertips.
Beautiful. All right, you guys, take care.
We'll have a wonderful day
next week. Bye-bye.